we move on to project number 4, and we move to Central Europe, and I invite Pamela Pasin to speak about the project SIforREF, and I'm sure she's gonna explain us in just a few seconds what this abbreviation stands for.
Thank you. Before starting, it was not included, but the SIforREF is social innovation for refugees. So I keep just 1 second. Good afternoon. So how often have you moved to a new country or new city? Migration, moving around, is part of our human history, right? Let's think in 2015, over 1 million migrants and refugees reached Europe pursuing safety and a brighter future. As thousands of people arrived, many member states called for human rights and solidarity, while others called for border control and sovereignty. The struggle wasn't just about the physical border, it challenged Europe's unity. Stereotypes, negative narratives of refugee invasions, and poor knowledge were widespread among population and decision makers as well. The weakness of policies was leading to the marginalization of refugees. I mean, the weakness of supporting integration of refugees. Luckily, there were light in the night, and some positive experience of solidarity were put in place at the regional and local level. We look at those for inspiration, to increase awareness, to refine knowledge, to improve skills to decision makers and societies. But how could we promote more far-sighted policies or create them from scratch in the cities of the project? We wanted to engage policymakers in a virtuous governance with NGOs and civil society. We are convinced that support the integration, the social and labor integration of refugees is the key to achieve social cohesion, and thus, in turn, will reduce xenophobic attitudes toward migrants and refugees. Implementing policies and practice to support the integration and inclusion of refugees is not only possible, but also feasible. And we believe that cooperation between public and private actors is essential to achieve this goal. To realize this, we started from the foundation, as we'll be building a house. So we analyzed local territories, we analyzed best practices, we realized interviews with all relevant stakeholders. Our light was the social innovation approach. We realized many meetings, roundtables, seminars, study visits to promote a real dialogue between institutions, NGOs, entrepreneurs. And SIforREF adopted a bottom-up approach. That means that no guidelines, no decision were taken in advance, but all the process has been co-created, co-produced by involving all actors, including refugees, of course. Do you think it was easy? Of course not. In addition, coronavirus arrived, and all the activities planned needed to be rescheduled. But we managed it, and summer is a wonderful season to make people gather and share common goals, I promise. From all these meetings, guidelines on how to implement social innovative policies and practice were developed and translated into 7 pilots. Allow me to give you 2 examples of these pilots. The first is in the city of Parma. In this neighborhood, this is a challenging neighborhood where many migrants and many elderly inhabitants coexist. And elderly felt a little bit unsafety due to some delinquency incidents, and prejudice against migrants were rising. So we decided to implement a pilot involving this family and these 2 guys of social caretakers. So the municipality facilitated them with 2 flats, were living in that neighborhood, and they implemented a social activities. That means that they become the social caretakers of the neighborhood. Painting, supporting elderly in daily duties were just some of the activities they implemented, and this proximity allowed to know each other and overcome the prejudice and foster the social cohesion of the whole neighborhood. In Berlin, the pilots involved migrant women, refugee women that have over 35 years old, unemployed but well educated, like Warka, an engineer from the University of Mosul. She has been living in Berlin for 5 years, but she is still unemployed and she would like to become self-employed. So we organize 2 orientation programs: empowerment, resilience, business ideation, technical requirements for self-employment were developed in the orientation program, and also a co-working and a childcare space were offered to these women. And at the end of the path of the orientation program, Warka said, I realized that I still have value and I can add my value here in Germany, in this society. That is a success. You might be asking, okay, but now what's up with this project now that SIforREF is ended? Well, the pilots were taken up by municipalities and institutions in their territories, and this testifies that the co-creation approach is the key to realize sustainable activities. SIforREF ended with the signature of local agreements and a transnational memorandum of understandings, while all actors involved, institutions, NGOs, entrepreneurs, refugees, signed their commitment to develop policies and practices that can foster the integration and inclusion of refugees. Thank you.